Hey everyone, it's me Tiffany Rowse again. Now, most of us know that majoring in art is pretty rare for the typical Hong Kong student. Most of us were brought up to think that we should be studying law, or medicine, or finance, everything that makes our city so successful. But today I'm going to share my experience getting my Bachelor's of Art at UCLA's School of Theatre, Film and Television. Well, I haven't officially graduated yet, so I don't really have my bachelor's, but you know what I mean. So a lot of people say that art school is a waste of money, or that you shouldn't be going overseas to study something so useless. But that's not necessarily true, and at the same time, art school isn't necessarily for everyone. For example, there are a number of overseas art schools that are very specialized. Some common ones that Hong Kong people might have heard of include the Savannah College of Art and Design, Rhode Island School of Design, the other Berkeley, which is the Berkeley College of Music in Boston, and Cal Arts in Southern California, just to name a few. If you're graduating secondary school determined that you want to go into one of these fields, like music, dance, acting, or graphic design, then you should probably look at one of these specialized art schools. However, if you're still unsure about what exactly it is you want to do, but there's a particular field of art that speaks to you or you find interesting, then maybe my personal experience will be of help to you. So I study film and television production at UCLA, and like many other big American universities, UCLA has a general education program, which means that I had to take a bunch of GE classes outside of my field of study. This meant that I got to take a great deal of classes that weren't related to film at all, and it really allowed me to explore my interests. Now, university is supposed to be a place where you broaden your horizons, figure out what you want to do with your life, and how to do it well. So I did exactly that. I took classes from game theory to philosophy, and ultimately I realized I had an interest in political science, and I started taking one poli-sci class per term, just for my personal interest. Schools like UCLA that offer an arts program and a general education program are really good for students who aren't really sure about a career in the arts, because on the one hand, it lets you learn a lot about the art you're interested in, but at the same time, you can also take other subjects, maybe even do a minor, and do a bunch of other things. This may be something that's also especially helpful if your parents aren't that supportive, or you're having trouble convincing them sending you overseas to do art. Because on the flip side of things, you could also major in something else, but do your minor in the art that you're interested in. That way your parents don't necessarily think they're wasting their money, but you still get to explore your interests in art and see if you want to do that as a career. The only caveat is that people doing minors usually don't get as much direct access compared to the major students. So, for example, you might not get as many perks with industry connections or technical equipment, or access to software and things like that. So that is one thing to be mindful of. Another thing you can do is also just kind of do a test run and maybe sign up for courses that are related to the field of art that you're interested in, just to see if you really want to study that at university as well. When I was in Form 3 or 4 and started thinking about university, I asked myself what was something that I really liked doing. And nothing really popped up, except I realized that I really liked going to the cinema. And this is not just like hanging out with friends at the cinema. I would often go to cinemas alone just to watch films there. So I began to look into different film courses that were available, and I found a summer filmmaking course for teens here in Hong Kong, hosted by the International Academy of Film, which unfortunately no longer exists in Hong Kong anymore. But there I wrote my first screenplay, I directed my first film, I learnt how to edit my film, and it was a really rewarding experience and definitely made me more sure about applying to film school for university. So now let me share some experiences I've had studying filmmaking in Los Angeles. Contrary to what most people might think, filmmaking is not easy. You have to get up really early in the morning, you're constantly on your feet for the entire 12-hour day, and there are also such things known as overnight shoots, where you need to shoot night scenes, so you are shooting from sunset to sunrise instead. Now those can be brutal. You're also constantly running against the clock, so it's a really fast-paced, high-pressure environment that forces you to be a really quick learner. I've been really lucky to have worked on so many cool projects while I was at film school. I have done a student Coca-Cola commercial. I have been able to travel to New York and even Stockholm to work on different film projects. I got to see Greta Thunberg while I was in Stockholm, so that was pretty cool. Of course, I've also gotten the opportunity to work on my own projects. I got to make a short film using a 16mm film camera, and I have also been able to integrate these media production skills I've learnt at film school to other aspects of my life. So I play for the women's rugby team at UCLA, and because of my film production training, I was able to shoot a promotional video for my rugby team with the help of my friends at film school. As we speak, I am back in Hong Kong shooting a thesis documentary about me and my dad. So the opportunities are really endless. It's going to be tough, but you're also going to have a lot of fun. I really hope this helps all of the Hong Kong students who are considering going overseas to pursue your university studies in art. And remember, always make the best choice for yourself. Best of luck!